March 2020, Potter's Journal. Where was I? I was making a series of French pottery jugs. We did these ones with the coiled spouts. And, okay, moving on, here's something with a twisted coiled handle. And there it is here, too, on the batiho. Okay. And here's something. Look, here's an interesting configuration of handles. There have been so many distractions lately. I am so glad to have this all here in a journal to come back from. And here's where I was working the most. You can see by the dirt they've been covered up for 2 weeks, or is it 3 now? It's time to get them out and get back to work. Okay, I did just unload a bisque. Okay, and it is one that holds the other up. We'll get these glazed and in a kiln. In this series of jugs, I've done some beaded pieces. And I got a couple glazed, but I will be moving on to that. It's good I came back today in the morning light, because last evening I would have put this in the scrap bucket. And maybe especially this one, because of the odd, unusual configuration of handles. They don't seem to fit, but then as I look at the historic pieces, they didn't seem to fit there either. Today I am moving on to, okay, twisted coil. There's nothing twisted about it. Okay, it just all comes together. Okay, and today, let's get connected. Okay, let's see what's going on in the studio today. Oh, okay, this could be another way to make handles for somebody who's having trouble pulling them. And it's just a matter of rolling a coil. For the one around the spout, they had to be very fine, and I find that putting 2 or 3 together gives it the extra support, and one seems to support the other. Okay, and that seems to be an important thing right now. There's been a lot of that going around on YouTube lately. I've been putting the 3 together and just lining them up like that, and then giving them a twist, and maybe sometimes having to move and just twist, you know, this part and that part and that part and work it down. And then discovered that then by giving them a little twist again, it tightens them and pulls them together. Okay, how about that? Let's get connected. And that seems to be a lot of that on YouTube right now. Steve Futin has a really nice series out. Okay, and he always, and especially now, seems to have a calming reassurance in his videos. Okay, and this is, I guess a French batiho. I just kind of realized that when I first did these, I put the handle on the wrong way. That I put it on like this, and it's supposed to be like that. Well, looking at so many images of the French pieces, there they seem to go on the other way. So, that was a little interesting discovery. Okay, so this is the entry point. I'm marking where that should be. And then I am giving that a beveled in so that it will attach smooth and clean. Okay, and then I don't want to drop it in the pot, so we'll grab it with the needle and get it out. Good. And we'll see if I... Okay, and then I am pinching that out a little bit so that when I push them together, you know, it doesn't push in the side of the pot, but the two pieces firm up to each other. And yeah, getting connected on YouTube. Eddie Gowler visited my pottery last summer, so I always check to see what he's doing. He's got a pug mill that, okay, he should put on the back of a trailer and offer his services to other potters and just travel around. I could probably pug up a year's worth of clay in one day. I don't do this full time. I go through, what, about 600 pounds of clay in a year. Okay, I am gonna, so that we can fit this all in one video, maybe, you know, do finishing smoothing at the end. I usually throw extra so that we can make sure we have one that looks right and fits. Okay, let's get this connected. Okay, and getting connected. Matthew Kelly put out a challenge this week, and I just couldn't not. Okay, take him up on it, despite his obvious advantages of being able to throw like a machine and doing it full time. And yeah, I do this part-time, but have more time for it now. Okay. And I have noticed that usually you would want these to be up here, so when it's filled, the water doesn't spill out. But I'm studying some historic pieces. Okay, it's not always gotten right. And thinking that the old pieces were made in a time when these were not just decorative, but actually used. Okay, that surprised me a bit. Okay, and, yeah, I got it. And then, yeah, if you read the comments all over YouTube, just seeing a simple ta from Freddie Moretti is enough to put some Scottish sunshine in anybody's day. And you know, it also might help if I just let this firm up a little bit too before I do the final smoothing and cleaning up on it. And, okay, and let's see, so that brings us to the handle. Okay, and I did one a little earlier and let it stiffen up a little bit. I'm thinking that is way too big. And you might notice that's not Ralph. Okay, I'm babysitting a friend of his. He's got a buddy now. Okay, let's hope I didn't cut too much off. I'm thinking, yeah, that might be just about right. And yeah, so if you do have trouble with handles and pulling them, this could be, yeah, a different alternative. Okay, these are both relatively wet and at the same condition. These are not something that you can do a lot of playing with and forcing into the pot. So I think it's real important that they be at the, you know, is still as wet as possible so you can get them connected. And yeah, this one I've been looking at is kind of looks like haphazardly put together. In my last video, I reached out to Lee and LB Ceramics. He not only reached back, but he just grabbed me and pulled me right into his studio. I'll put a link up. Yeah, how fun could the this jug series be after doing this last week? A link up so you can see what he did. And you know, not just him, there is an element of his channel that just grabs you. It's not planned, it's not intentional, it's barely there. But you can sense his family in the background. And, you know, just a brief mention of when he had a kiln fire and go bad, his kids making candles in the pieces. You can just imagine when he does the banks with birds and hedgehogs that, okay, the studio just must come alive when they come out and see what magic happened in Dad's studio. Okay, so I'm just kind of playing with each one of these individually. I also had thought of taking a coil around for some strength, but especially if this started moving around on me, but I think it's blending in there and we'll have a good attachment. It's good to see so many potters having a good fix on things. Broken Arrow also had a very timely video up that was worth seeing for potters. Timely for now, but you know, something that we could do always. She's got some seam skills as a seamstress, and so if you know someone, if you know a seamstress, or you are, yeah, there's some good things you'll find there. Okay, I'm gonna finish and play with this later. I don't want to stretch this on too long, but okay. The thing here is, okay, let's get connected. Stop back and see what happens in the studio next week.